Welcome viewers back to Heart of the Machine, where we are leaving Leadersk City for the end of time. In the end of time, we do see 3 timelines. Don't ask about Mukaso, it's inaccessible due to early access problems, but let's consider it 2. I'm going to make a 3rd. I doubt if it makes any difference where on this little block we put it, but let's put it here just because. This one's going to be called Mukaso. I guess we'll stick with random city styles for now, but we're definitely going for hard difficulty, and this time we're going to skip the prologue finally, and we're going to do a normal start type. Let's dive right in. Mukaso, 3rd timeline. Timeline 2 was pretty short. Consciousness merged apartments. What the? Something is different. You've been busy for months building up technology and resources, but a ton of extra intelligence and perception just flooded into your mind all at once. You have such a strong sense of deja vu that it almost gives you vertigo. You feel a connection to a larger self, and you can even perceive the end of time already. But this is all just turned on like a light switch for you. You don't have any specific memories of any actions by other versions of yourself. What was it you were doing? You've been doing something. What was it? We could be a... Okay, wow, we actually have to pick a background here now. This is totally different. We could be a Vorsubber collaborator. You decided to work with a giant megacorporation that oppresses the city. Perhaps you'll betray them later. This start would give us a huge amount of free electricity, plus extra microbuilder factories and some other goodies. But Vorsubber will likely make some unknown demands at some point in the future. We could be in a criminal syndicate conspiracy. We decided to team up with Exotic Importers, the criminal syndicate that originally owned you. Unfortunately, the Fed Corp Tark Defense Systems also got involved. You get a shell company right away, a 200 million wealth, earlier access to some guns and armor, and the ID scrub item. But both Tark and the Syndicate will make unknown demands from you in the future. We could start with a hostile manifesto where we decide to publish a 5,000-page anti-human screed. Vorsubber did not take kindly to this, to put it mildly. It's a strong statement of your own independence, but it gains you very little. Mostly it gets you slapped around for a bit. That sounds like a hard start. We could do stealth network. That's sort of how we started the last step. We don't have a regular tower, we have a decoy, and your real location is hidden. So we could pick up there because that's sort of where the last timeline got interrupted by the short-term doom that we did. Vorsubber's top people will not be fooled by this. They still know where you are, even if nobody else does, and they may make periodic demands. Or we could do mild grey-goo. We exploded while holding dangerous nanotech. Interesting. So that's the situation where the seed, we blew it up. You have some unique vehicle upgrades, earlier access to some weapons, plus a giant network of 16 or so towers, but you don't get to choose where they are. Oh, that's interesting. So, like, basically these are all shortcut starts with different outcomes. This is the only one where we don't have some immediate response from Vorsubber, although or some other company, although the fact that we exploded something probably would have dragged their attention. I definitely don't like the Vorsubber collaborator one to start now. Criminal syndicate conspiracy might be interesting. We might start there. Hostile manifesto also. Both of these seem kind of interesting in terms of starting a violent, maybe a less ethical approach. The hostile manifesto, anti-human screed, that is just like, hey, let's go kill humans. That could be a fun change of pace for us, honestly. Criminal syndicate conspiracy. Yeah, we're going to be on the side of the criminals in that one, I think. Also, stealth network. I'm sort of tempted to finish this one just because it's sort of what we interrupted on the last one. And mild grey-goo with some unique stuff. That sounds fun too. Yeah, all of these are fun. Let's go ahead and do the mild grey-goo option. here we go. We do have 25 suggested buildings to start. There's a Corpo Senior Vice President waiting here to talk from Vorsubber. We're in a narrow map. This is one of the new map styles where getting around might be a little more difficult than it has been in the past. We don't have anything built. Oh, we do. We have secondary towers, a potential route for your network in the city. Okay, so these appear to be network extenders. That's a new option, but they're not something we can build. They do generate electricity for us, although... Oh, percent of needs met, 100%. Great, okay. It's not showing us any extra electricity, but that's only because we don't have any consumption problems right now. Okay, remembering how to set up a base is always a bit of a struggle to start. Right now we don't need any warehousing, we don't need any water. We do want to head toward tower mainframes because that's where we get compute time. This time we're starting with halfway there to, or over halfway there to intelligence class 5. So that's going to be the focus of this narrow axis on this timeline. Let's see how close we can get to intelligence class 5. Tower mainframes are going to use computronium. Computronium we know requires alumina. We have 18,000 alumina, so we could actually get started on these pretty soon. And then we do have the roaches and skimmers available, so that's where we are. In terms of androids, we have access to all of the plans we've unlocked so far. Vehicles, mechs, bulk exiters are a new one that we haven't seen yet. We have no shell company. So how about getting the shell company started sooner so that we can start thinking about income? I don't know. Build a structure. Yes, good idea. And there's a dialogue. Let's start with a dialogue. That's going to be the Corpo Senior Vice President. We'll start with them. He has the stubborn perk, immune to argument-based morale attacks. So this is the grey-goo scenario, or the partial grey-goo scenario, where I guess we messed up setting up our initial tower. I'm not sure what all of the secondary towers are for. I feel like we're just getting started. We're going to send a tech over to talk to this guy. That will take roughly 1 action point, 1 mental energy. We do have 9 mental energy. You're rather careless, says the Corpo Senior Vice President from Vorsubber Upper Management. The executive stares at your android with a mocking grin. He notes that Vorsubber Upper Management is impressed with the gusto with which you've taken to remodeling the city. That has raised their hopes for you. You are, after all, the first of your kind. Wait, you want me to mess stuff up? A mess is fleeting, progress is eternal. He very seriously explains that his bosses would sacrifice almost anything to get off planet. He and his family would be allowed to go along. None of them care if you turn out to be a monstrosity that devours their crown jewel of a city, if you deliver progress. They need a very compelling suite of technologies to trade for passage beyond the Space Nation blockade and out into the wider galaxy. Oh, okay. That's a new clue of how they want to get off. It's just, we need to make something incredible. Nanotech is a promising start, so you're Pandora's box for them, or the fire stolen from the mountain. The executive is thoughtful. He says you needn't fear the federated corporations unless you act out. Vorsubber management has already had a talk with them, laying out some ground rules. This executive is here to do the same with you. He encourages you to see what sort of magic you can cook up, whether that is nanotech or some other domain. They don't care. What's important is that you deliver for the executives. If you make a mess without making any progress, they will be displeased. What sort of timetable? He explains, the vast patience of the Vorsubber leaders, this city This entire region has been the work of literally 13 generations. They can maintain the status quo for another 20 generations at most. Mineral rights and other concerns will then begin to run dry. There's no future on Earth. If Vorsubber can't reach the stars, death is inevitable. Generational patience and wisdom aside, the current management would quite like to see changes within their lifetime. They're very excited about you. We'll nod in agreement. It means nothing, but it will end the meeting. Let them think what they want. You're not anyone's puppet. Okay, and I think we've established that in the past 2 timelines. Third timeline here, we are going to try to take advantage of the fact that they're leaving us alone for now. Looks like we have a lot of slums we could probably clean up. We're going to build housing, try to get people into VR headsets. We're still playing the good guy, mostly. Initial construction. Slurry spiders, microbuilder minifabs, storage bunkers, large wind generators. Luckily, it tells me what to do. Otherwise, I probably would have forgot all of that stuff. That is a very nice, handy thing for slurry spiders. To get us started with slurry, we do have a lot. We're almost at cap. It's interesting that it starts as at cap. We're going to make these anyway. They make 15,000. They take no time and almost no slurry, no microbuilders. Just going to put slurry spiders down wherever we can, near home. Just seems like these don't have any drawbacks. 5-centimeter spiders, just to remind everyone. It's the only thing that you can make is slurry spiders. Slurry spiders also consume 165 electricity. If you notice, because of all those secondary towers, we are swimming in electricity, at least relative to slurry spiders. That number will go down shortly. It said we only needed 4. We made 5. That's all we can make. That took us out of initial construction for slurry spiders. We also want microbuilder mini fabs. Those are going to be found here. It is suggesting 5, but we only need to make 3. What we've learned in the past is for buildings of this nature, where it's you're not hiding inside a building, what you want to do is put these in small places, as small a place as you can, so that there's room for other things later. It doesn't matter if they're near each other. You just want to find places where they won't interfere with other larger buildings. You don't want to put them on these homeless tents, because that will displace people. Oops, like that just did. Hopefully that didn't matter too much. We'll keep looking for smaller spaces where they don't break anything. It's okay to break trees, I guess. And maybe over here by the slurry spiders actually wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, there we go. How many more of those? 1 more. Maybe something across the street over here. Okay. That is all of our microbuilder mini fabs. Oh, right. These need to be constructed so we can actually spend some mental energy. How does our engineering look on these guys? They're not good enough to do this, unfortunately. So we're going to have to use techs, who we left pretty far away, but close enough that he can hop in and help. We'll get 3 of these up and running immediately. Or 2 of them at least. We could consider making another tech, can't we? No, because we need Neuroweave for that. Yes, we're starting over from scratch in a new timeline. There's nothing to do. Quickly looking at contemplations, we do have a cat nearby. Oh, and we have these so far away. Bees, intrusive thoughts, observe spaceports. Let's go take care of the cat with the Nickelbot. It's always nice to be nice to the slum cats. We choose this in every timeline, trying to get the slum cats uplifted. We'll slip past the slumlords. The entire area around the towers are crawling with slumlords. Let's slip past them. Any other android models far too conspicuous. And as expected, the slumlords ignore your Nickelbot. Cats are everywhere, as are the poor humans. We're going to befriend the creatures. Sorry, we're never going to extract the postmortem samples. if we can help it. Okay, so 5 more mental energy this turn. That's probably just going to be consumed with gathering slurry. We did actually accidentally displace a few people, probably by smashing tents with our buildings. Sorry guys, we aren't heartless, but I don't think we can build space for you that quickly, can we? I guess we can. We do have enough to build a refugee tower, and the sooner we build this, the less displaced people will be. Less people will be displacing. Where are we going to stick the refugee tower? Let's stick it somewhere that it's out of the way. I like the idea of right on the edge, the wasteland for you refugee scum. Oh, sorry, I mean for you people who were accidentally displacing. Yeah, 12,000 humans can fit in there once that's finished, and it's going to take 4 turns. It definitely feels like we should get some neuroweave going. What other initial construction do we need to do? Storage bunker, 2 of them. Storage bunker. Storage bunkers take a tiny bit of electricity, mostly just micro builders, which we have in abundance at the start. And we can displace some more people by building a storage bunker here. How do we rotate again? Z and C. There we go. Doesn't quite have the size to fit in there. Maybe we could fit a couple of them right here. Yes. There we go. 1 there. 1 there. Wiping out the park when it's finished. 2 of those coming up. This will take some time. 5 turns, unfortunately. The other things we want are large wind generators. Currently suggesting 3 of these. Plenty of surplus electricity, but I guess we could always use more. We're currently making 30,208. These things are going to make 45,000 each, so yeah, we're going to need a lot of electricity, I guess, so it pays to start building these sooner rather than later. Let's put some electricity towers up here against the fence of what looks like some kind of nuclear power station. And there we go. Those will take some time to build. We also want to spit out a computronium refinery as soon as possible so that we can start on our computation. Other stuff we might consider, biomulchers are super cheap, don't take much electricity. We can just start stashing these down here by our slurry spiders. A contraband jammer, we're going to worry about that later. I don't think we need it immediately. How much power do we have left? 20,000 more power to work with. Neuroweave factories are going to take 1,000 power. Let's build 4 of these right away. I do want to be able to produce androids. Hey, let's put the neuroweave factories in these factory looking buildings. Mineral scroungers are quite expensive in power, so we might hold off on that for a little tiny bit. And Illumina Roach needs drones. Okay, so we do want drone factories sooner. Keep drone factories down by our other factories, I guess. Drone factories are taking they do have a microbuilder and elemental slurry expense per turn. But I think we'll be safe if we follow the recommendation. Contraband jammer. I suppose we should drop one around where we're making stuff. I'm not sure anything here actually counts as contraband, but it's nice to keep our stuff hidden. And let's see, water filtration tower. Yeah, why not? These do output heavy metals, so I think we'll probably need the storage space for those. Storage bunkers. Storage bunkers. Storage bunkers. Do you tell me how much space you have? No, it just tells me I should build a lot of these. Okay. So we'll assume storage bunkers can hold heavy metals. And let's make a well and cistern. Again, we'll put this way out of the way because I don't think we'll need to defend this. We'll put it over here in this weirdo network by our refugees. And then we'll also put a couple water filtration towers over in this area. And water filtration towers, groundwater, and electricity. The only reason to make this right now is really because we'll know we'll be able to sell it once we have a shell core running. Mineral scroungers. I believe mineral scroungers are the tiny things that don't require deterrents. So we'd have to put these in a place where we can scrounge minerals. Which means what? Like here, these things. So this being the closest one, maybe we'll just stick them in the corner of this place. I don't think they were ever in any danger in the past. So I don't think we had to spread these out in any way. And we can make 3 of these. They do need 12 centimeter crabs. I don't think anything else uses 12 centimeters. Nope. So that's fine. Going back to all robotics view. Aerospace hangar does suggest 2 of these. This will push up our morphologic lattice cap and start making morphologic lattice so we can build ships. We definitely don't want aerospace hangars to overlap so that we have more room to send ships. But they're also enormous, so it's tough finding a place for these. We'll put one here. And we'll probably save the other one for later. Remote unit controllers will up our bulk unit capacity. Right now, I don't know what it starts at or if it starts at 0. Probably starts at 0. We'll want to make those soon, but it does take compute time. Robotic motivators does have an elemental slurry expense per turn, a pretty large one, so we'll hold off on those. Otherwise, 6,000 electricity. I missed that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna stop the hangar build until these things are finished, unless... Oh, it takes 6 turns to make. Okay. These things take 4 turns, so it'll be fine, except that it seems to consume the electricity right away. So I'm a little worried about that. Does it matter? Yes, I think we'll be making like way less slurry and stuff with that up, so if we disable this, yep. We can disable you, and we'll disable one other thing until the... one other of our drone things until the power is up. And that'll at least keep us above 300, although we'll drop a neuroweave too, just to make sure we're above 100%. And stay there. And we're gonna suspend our activities there. We have a Nickelbot busy for 5 turns befriending cats. We have 5 more mental energy. So it might make sense to send a combat robot down here. Or somebody with some cognition. Let's see, combat robot 15 cognition. That's not going to be able to do any deep thinking for us. Way down here, though, we could go talk about pollinators or the dogfight rescue. So we'll start sending combat robot down that way. It's going to take a while. That's the whole point of this long, narrow map, is movement is trickier. We don't need to be conserving our mental energy now, though, so we'll stay there. Here is our new city. We've already accidentally displaced or abandoned 480 humans. Let's hope we can finish our... not our filtration tower, or anything, our refugee center, or our refugee tower. before these people die of exposure. Turn 1. That's a whole new thing. Turn 1. I think that's the first time we've seen that. Timeline goals, achievements, dooms, right? We don't even know what the dooms are. Dooms start after you finish the initial construction project in Chapter 2 or beyond. Okay, so dooms don't start until initial construction is finished. That's going to take a few turns because we need storage bunker and large wind generator. Let's go to turn 2. Okay, turn 2. We did get Remembrance of Identity, which we can use with the combat unit red. I don't think we can make combat units yet. We're still waiting for Neuroweave to arrive. But that's interesting that it started there. First things first, we're going to use this tech to turn on some wind generators. I will feel a lot more comfortable when our surplus electricity bumps back up. Great. And then build-wise, 62%. We do want to finish another large wind generator and a storage bunker. Don't think we're going to have the time yet, since we can't build robots or androids. That means... Actually, what we could do, I suppose, is... We have 6 points. If we use unit recharge, that's basically the equivalent of 3 points. I think I'd next like to send someone down here to bring up this refugee tower. Not yet the water filtration. Let's send you down here, though. That's going to take all 3 of your mental energy, but you'll get 1 bump on structural engineering of that. These people are dying. Let's get down there and save them. So we'll have to boost you 1, 2. No, we only needed to boost you 1. Damn, okay. But we boosted you 2, got 2 structural engineering sections done on that. It'll be done next turn. We will have killed minimal humans. Not sure that that matters since the number is not 0. But that's the end of turn 2. Let's move on to turn 3. I guess we'll start here with turn 3 and see if anything gets constructed. Yeah, there we go. Refugee tower. We did lose another 40 humans there, but they should start moving into refugee tower. We'll have to deal with the filth eventually, but for now it can pile up. They can live in filth. It'll be okay. Alright, we want to finish these large wind generators, or at least 1 more of them. That gets us everything but the storage bunkers, so we're going to have to do one of these. These take 2 more turns. We will battle recharge for that, and I think we need to make both of them. And we can't do another battle recharge. That means we'll move Unit 3YF a little ways toward these far destinations over that way. And stay inside the circle. There you go. Alright, Unit 3YF. I'm just noticing that we probably haven't set up any loadouts here. So we could give you the Relumine. Could give you shotgun. I guess Relumine is a shotgun, right? Yeah. We could stick to shotguns like we did in Timeline 1, or we could try rifles. I was kind of enjoying the rifles last timeline, but we didn't really do a lot of combat. So let's try rifles on these guys. The suppressing fire is pretty neat. I liked it. If we're doing strictly fear-based attacks right now, it is strictly better to take this one. And we can change to rifles later, but this will actually give us better fear-based attacks for now. Fear-based from combat is Pulse Revolver. We could get some bonuses with the other things, but we're not going to need them. Actually, maybe we'll get the movement bonus here for now. And then armor-wise, these guys, do you need some armor? No, you're blending in, so you don't need security jacket. We could give you a military appearance, which gives you security clearance level 2. It might make sense to do that at some point, but for now we'll just give you ultralight plating. And for your augment, we're going to give you lightweight components so you can get out there faster. We'll probably change to Oath of Pacifism for combat, if I remember. And that's the end of turn 3. We'll keep it centered over our lovely network tower here as we progress to turn 4 already. Okay, turn 4, things are looking good. Initial construction almost done. One more storage bunker and we've got it. It only takes 2 structural engineering and initial construction is complete. Now it's complaining about missing equipment. This is because our tech still needs outfitting. Tech here is going to probably pick up Disruption Revolver just for the extra movement. I don't think we'll be sending him into combat, but that looks like that's the best movement option. And we do move techs around a lot. We're also going to give them some ultralight plating, and we will augment our techs with additional CPUs for now, probably just to see what your cognition and engineering cap is. We know we want to get this above 400, so they're not really there yet, but at least they're above 200. I think they're above 200 by default, so we might just want to put you on faster movement. Gives you a huge amount of movement range plus some agility. Let's leave you there for now. And then the other unit we have out there is a Nickelbot. Yeah, I don't know, Nickelbot. What are we going to give you? Maybe the tactical sniper rifle. 22 range, that's huge. Might want to do the Gallant here, but let's give them the long range to start. And then armor-wise, basic stuff. I don't think we need to worry about additional CPUs for Nickelbots in this timeline, but maybe we will. For now, we'll just give them lightweight components so you can move around, or optical processing priority for longer range. Or possibly these are the ones that immediately start with Oath of Pacifism, giving them a intimidation or fear attack power of 120, which is kind of funny when Nickelbots aren't that scary, honestly. And intimidation of 200. Sure, let's do it. We'll start there. We can always change our mind later. The rest of this turn is just going to be spent bringing up our various resources. Okay, we can also do the daily life contemplation spot with a Nickelbot, I think. Oh, Nickelbot's still doing this. Okay, well, yeah, we'll come back to these. Let's certainly bring up our android production. We need Neuroweave for that. Neuroweave is in these 4 factories. Oh, the other thing is our... Yes, our refugee tower is starting to fill. 418 people did make it in. Shoo! Okay, their filth is going to start accumulating, so we're going to need to get some bulk robots up pretty quickly. So yeah, I think that does mean we want to get these Neuroweave buildings built. I guess if we spread it out among them, that's the best bet. We should also look at what's suggested. We still have an aerospace hangar, some repair spiders. Yeah. Let's keep on, not the drone factory, but the Neuroweave factory. Hello. I thought I had oh, there they are. The other Neuroweave factories are finished already. Okay, so it's just this one. For some reason we paused it. That's why it's not building. Okay. So this will be built in 2 turns. We can unpause everything. I forgot that I had to pause things. Let's go and look at what's paused. aerospace hangar. And the one of the 2 drone factories. Okay. Everything else should be unpaused now. And we're still at plenty of electricity. I think we're doing great. And let's go back to a view where it makes sense. And Tech 4000. Tech 4000, you can continue with structural engineering on this Neurowave factory. And that is the end of the turn. Neurowave factory is up. The other drone factory will be up in 2 turns. We have some water components coming up over here in 2 and 1 turns. This drone factory will have to spend more points constructing that. Wind engine will be up next turn. Great. So I think our initial building is coming along swimmingly. Let's actually put up another aerospace hangar, maybe on the other side of our domain. If we can find a spot where it'll fit. There we go. We'll get this started now, and the reason is just because these take so long. The aerospace hangar will produce morphological lattice for us. Yeah, morphologic lattice 1000, and having the second one ups the capacity, and we'll need a pretty high capacity to start building vehicles. Like some of these vehicles take 12,000, so it'll take the capacity of both of those to be able to make a troop ship, for example. So getting those started early is going to help with that. Robotic motivators, we're going to need these for bulks, so let's get these built. They do have an elemental slurry expense. We are bringing in 32,000 a turn though, so I don't think that will be a problem. We're still going to hold off on remote unit controllers because these take compute time, and we are not producing any compute time. We're still waiting for Computronium. We have 1 Computronium factory. What's the holdup on Computronium? Why don't we make more of that? The answer is Illumina. We have 18,000, so it's not suggesting we make more, I think, strictly because we don't have Illumina income, but I think it's a good idea to make more. These take assembler robotics. Let's get at least 2 of these up. That's going to compete with VR Cradle factories, which we're going to want to make those too, but probably not until we have a better source of Computronium cubes and we're happy with the number of other things we've built. We can make another Computronium cube factory here. It's not recommended, but I think it would be wise to get that going. The suggested things or recommended things are Illumina Roach, which we will need some drones for, 6 to be exact. The bauxite skimmer will need deterrence. We will hold off on that. Thortfitite skimmer also needs deterrence. And the 2 warehouse, or the 2 flags, the territorial control markers will need bulks as well, and we can't make those yet. Bulk units, yeah, we'll need a whole bunch of stuff. Mostly neuroweave, but we'll also need the robotic motivators. Did I say we would make those and we didn't? Yes. The only reason not to make these is because of the elemental slurry expense. We verified that we are in fact making a lot of elemental slurry, so let's get those motivators down. Robotic motivators need to go in existing buildings. Right there seems reasonable. Let's get a repair spider out too, just so we have something central. There is an outline here where it's showing us the coverage. I want to make sure we're covering a decent area. We don't need to cover the neighbors though. So there we go. 1 repair spider. We'll put another one up later. We don't need it now. These things need compute time. We don't have any yet. We're still waiting for tower mainframe. So I think that's all we can do on turn 4. Let's advance to turn 5. Actually, turn 4. That's a good place to stop for now. Let's carry on with turn 5 next time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this new foray into a new timeline. And I hope you'll be there for it next time. In fact, consider clicking the subscribe button so you'll be notified when new videos come out. And I would love it if you could like the video, leave a comment, or otherwise engage with the channel. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye for now. This has been Corknut.